Hi, today I'm going to share with you a few tips and tricks with using vinyl with your ScanNCut. What I've done is I have my low-tack mat and I have a piece of vinyl already cut and ready to kind of go through the machine. What I like to do, again, a nice little tip just for you, especially with using the low-tack mat, since it is very just has a light tack to it. It's great for tissue papers and papers that are really thin and delicate. And it's especially wonderful for vinyl because vinyl can get kind of tricky when you're taking it off. So what I'm going to do is take my brayer and just really press it down. Now the vinyl, because it's usually rolled up, will still want to kind of pull up, and that's okay. My machine will still cut it. The nice thing about ScanNCut is that because it slides right in, is that as it's cutting, it's always going to kind of remain flat. All right, so I'm going to load my vinyl in. So besides brayering the vinyl, another tip that I really like to recommend is to test your vinyl first. And what that is just creating a little test cut. So what I'm going to do is hit the home button, into patterns, hit test, it's then the top middle part, and I'm going to hit this little square, and it gives me a square probably about, it says 0.39 width. It's a very small square, and the nice thing is that I can just pull it down. Let me grab my stylus. I can just grab it down and take it away from anywhere that I'm going to cut my design on so that it can just test it. Now I have my blade set at 1.5. That's what I recommend for just craft vinyl. Now I'm going to hit cut. With vinyl, what you want to do is make sure that you're cutting the top of the vinyl and not the protective covering underneath. Because what you're going to do is take the negative space off and then put your contact sheet on top, you want to make sure that you have that base surface to kind of still use to keep your vinyl together. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is peel back the top layer of vinyl, and voila. You'll see that I was able to cut just a small little square. This is my test cut. I cut it off of, kind of off the grid, away from my design, where my design would be, just to make sure that it does cut my vinyl and not my protective covering underneath. So what I have here is a design that I printed in Word, and I just put a couple fonts together and created a nice little title. And I've already scanned it through my machine, and the machine has now made it into little cut data. And honestly, it took maybe a minute for the machine to figure it all out and kind of make it into that. And I'm not going to go through that right now, but what I do have is my design already cut out. So what I want to do is show you how to now put it onto your canvas. And since I'm working with canvas, it's not a solid surface. What you'll find is that you'll get a little give. And I wanted to show you a couple tricks to that. So here we are, and I'm just peeling off. What I want to do is, I'm actually going to peel it off. And what you want to do is just peel it off and work your way through, figure out exactly where you want it, and then just work your way through your design and kind of just peel the protective covering off little by little, and making sure you get every little piece as you go. And now what I like to do is just take my spatula and just push down a little bit. Now I don't want to push too hard because I don't want to concave my canvas. So what I can do is easily go onto the other side, and with that you can actually use your brayer. Alright. Now again, just double check, make sure everything is transferred over. And it looks like it's still a little stuck there. Okay. Just smoothing out a couple more spots, but here you go. Now my vinyl is on my canvas, and one thing, because the canvas is something that you might move around in your house, or that it might get put in storage for a little bit, or whatever the case may be. You might, it's just something that is mobile. It's not like vinyl on your wall. It's always going to be there. Something that's going to be mobile. One thing that I recommend is to put just a matte coating of a decoupage finish over it. Something that'll allow this vinyl to really, truly stick. But again, I really love the way ScanNCut's able to get the the beautiful detail of my scripty kind of font, and it still transferred it really well. In literally probably like a minute, it was able to scan in my design, and I was able to make it into a cut data. The machine did it for me. So it's a really nice way. This is something that I like to be able to have displayed in my house. I can change it around depending on the seasons. And it's just, again, a really fun way of using vinyl in an alternative way. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining me today. And I hope you'll join us next time. Thanks.